Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, aka Kora the Explorer, and this video we're breaking down the penultimate episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The show is heading towards a big finale, and throughout this we'll be going over our thoughts and theories on the entry. Obviously there will be heavy spoilers here, so if you don't want anything ruined then I highly recommend that you turn off now. Please drop a thumbs up if you enjoy the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our breakdown on the show's ending. Anyway, with all that out of the way, huge thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into our breakdown of episode 11. Okay, so we pick up with Daisy watching Malick take Simmons and Deke to parts unknown in the search for Fitz. The kidnappers have gone stratospheric, and luckily for the agents, Kora has just been brought into the base to interrogate. Daisy slams her against the wall upon seeing her, and after Mack makes her put her half-sister down, she states that she's just here to help. Turns out everyone wants to be an agent these days, and she talks about how things have changed and her goals for the future. The episode is titled Brand New Day, and she very much hammers home the notion that the timeline has changed far too much to ever go back to normal. Kora insists that Malick actually wishes to use what he knows of the future to change things for humanity's betterment, and that they want to live in their #best life. I don't know how you can kill people for the best outcome, but S.H.I.E.L.D. too have murdered many in order to protect the world. Now at this point, the show is existing firmly in the multi-worlds way of thinking. This David Deutsch theory on time travel states that if we were to go back to the past, we would instead be creating branched realities that would only alter things in our present, and that the prior past we experienced would head off in its own direction without us. This was seen in Endgame, but it's also used here to mean that Daisy's mother can die before she's born without her vanishing from existence. That's a theory that's typically known as the grandfather paradox, which the show clearly isn't operating with. And if you want to see me talk about this more in depth, then make sure you check out our new Umbrella Academy's timeline video, which goes over all the main time travel theories in more detail. Now it turns out that Kora has a list of 30 people who, if she kills, will allegedly save thousands of lives. We'll discuss this later, but it's something definitely to bear in mind. Now we have seen notions of this before, and when Project Insight was about to launch in the 70s, there were notable Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. members on it, and also Bruce Banner. I'm actually also leaning in more with the idea that the timeline is completely ruined at this point, and that they should just kill whoever they can. I'm sorry Daisy, I never should have tried to stop you from murdering Malick all those years ago. Now Daisy has a conversation with Kora, who tells her that Sybil said there's no future in which Daisy lets her sister fight alone, and this makes the character realise what she must do. So far Sybil has been predicting their every move because, well, let's face it, they're so bloody predictable. They'll always work as a team and try to spare lives where they can instead of ending them. This line of not letting her sister fight alone makes Daisy realise that she must actually fight without her, as it's the one thing that Sybil won't be able to predict, and thus she goes rogue, bumping into Sousa on the way. Sousa also famously never leaves his post, so her getting him to do this and go with her will go above Sybil's projections so that she can beat the Chronicom's plans. Mack realises they're right, and with a little mac and cheesy lines, he decides to join the group. Elsewhere, Deke tries to do a Die Hard on board the Zephyr, and he even name drops the Nakatomi Plaza, which is of course the famous location from that film. This is quickly cut short though when he's captured by Garrett, who sneaks up behind him using his teleportation powers. Now though we don't really see Fitz per se in the present, we do see the character in flashbacks as Malick dives into Simmons' mind. Frustrated that he can't go into her memories, he starts to slap her around, but no matter what punishment he puts on her, Diana hides Fitz's location. They then knock Deke out, and May goes to Kora, who shuts down the power at the lighthouse with one punch. This allows Sybil to jump into their computer system due to the electrical grid being down, and I don't know if it's me, but I also thought this was a Die Hard reference. At the end of that movie, the villains managed to break into the safe at the plaza because the FBI shut down the electrical grid, and thus the firewalls around it drop. This is similar to how Sybil gets in here, and yeah, I kinda took it as an Easter egg for that. Sybil's code goes into the machine, and she sends creepy messages like, "I know only hunger now." I tried seeing if this was a famous phrase, but I couldn't find anything on it. However, if you think it's a cool little nod to something, then make sure you let me know below. On board the Quinjet, Daisy and Mack have a little heart-to-heart, and she tells him that Enoch told her that this would be their last mission. The guy must have seen the advertising for the season, and though it should be sad, Mack says maybe it's time. Daisy doesn't want to leave what they have, but Mack seems to be ready to reduce their relationship to just being phone pals. Is that a thing? It is now. Now I think this does tease that we may be getting an Agents of S.W.O.R.D. show with the character, but that Mack might not be there. Daisy wants to keep working, but Mack is up for retiring and taking a break, so let the man live. Now he picks up on Daisy and Sousa having a thing and smiles because Yo-Yo owes him $20. I wish I'd taken that bet too, because we've been shipping Susie since day one, and let's be honest, with a lockdown, I could do with the money. I also love how Mack gives the "what are your intentions" talk to Sousa, and it reminded me of when Sousa was in Community as well, and Britta found out that he was a war criminal. However, they also drop another cool little Marvel Easter egg, as Mack refers to him as the man out of time. This was also Steve Rogers' nickname, and both he and Sousa were in love with Peggy Carter. Sousa was the loser in that situation, but it's nice how he's sort of become a reverse of that character, going to the future to be with Daisy, while Steve went to the past to be with Peggy. Sousa is shocked to learn that Daisy is called Quake, and let's just say she rocked his world. Am I right? Now, to be fair, it is a stupid nickname. Now, back at the Zephyr, Malick, angered at Simmons being unable to give up the location of Fitz, dives into her mind in order to get the info. It's pretty much an Inception, but Simmons warns Malick that the more he tries to get the info, the deeper it will be buried. It's at this point that Simmons drops a line about Fitz coming to her rescue, and I do think that is how the character will finally arrive in the season. He will no doubt be angry that she's been kidnapped, and this could make him show up, mess up Malick's plans, and pretty much ruin everything for the Chronicoms like how he did in all the other timelines. We watch as they go into a memory that had Jemma, Enoch and Fitz discussing going to a temple. They also begin to build Diana, and Fitz does his usual huffy, "this isn't good enough" speech, and you know what, you let me down, Fitz. I was excited to see you come back, and you bloody ruined it with all your huffing as per usual. Now he does tell them, however, that it is possible for them to put the mission on hold for a second and, just have a life together. It does appear that they don't. However, I actually think that they did, and that they've used something such as the blood work that's mentioned to delay their aging. Now the blood work could also have another meaning, and in real life it's typically used during pregnancies. Thus, the time they're seeking may actually be there to give them the opportunity to raise their child together. As their child is not with Simmons, it must be with Fitz, and who knows, we could be seeing Deke's mother very soon. I'll talk about this more in just a bit, but I do think that the show has been hinting at it ever since Simmons said they'd spent a long time together building the time machine at the start of the series, and who knows, we could be getting a new character for the finale. At the lighthouse, the agents try to shut down Sybil, but it doesn't work and she frees the prisoners, namely Durant, who as we know has Lee's power to summon blades. He goes to sneak up on Yo-Yo, but she captures them, and during this, Kora is freed. Coulson shows her that Malick and the Chronicoms are causing chaos, and the fact that they're saving killers, it pretty much cements that they're the bad guys. Kora kills Durant, showing that she's up for putting things back, but that they would have to make sacrifices like Sousa in order to fully correct the timeline. Yo-Yo asks for one of the names on a kill list, and she gives up Grant Ward. Ward was of course a member of the Agents that was revealed to be a Hydra spy. Ward was raised by John Garrett, and he became a love interest of both May and Daisy before being outed as a villain. Coulson states that he's just a child now, and that without Garrett, he would become good. Kora says he would actually be worse without him, and it does make you wonder whether it's better the devil you know. It's at this moment that May brings up Jaya Ying, and I didn't even realise that Kora wasn't aware of her mother's death. Kora initially thinks that her mother can just heal her way out of it, but as her neck was snapped, she'll be unable to come back from it. May tells her that Malick was the one who did it, and that Jaya Ying died protecting Daisy. Kora has a complete breakdown and lashes out at May, and the two get into a fight, but Garrett arrives and teleports Kora to safety on the Zephyr. Now I do think that Kora will be the undoing of Malick, and now that she knows the truth and has been sent to him, she might even be the one that ends up killing him. I'll discuss this more in the preview part of the video, but Kora is going to have to make a tough choice between her sister and the villain, and I think due to learning about their mother, she will go more towards the former. Back in Simmons' mind, we see the pair in a completely white room. This may be something that's devoid of space and time, and thus they will have had time to grow old together and potentially raise their child. Jemma jumps off the chamber table and goes over to Deke, who asks about Fitz, but Jemma seems confused. She utters the haunting line, "Fitz? Who's Fitz?" And I bet it's not the first time Jemma's woken up and not known the name of someone she's slept with. Am I right, ladies? We'll have no sexism here. Girls just want to have fun too. Now at the base, Coulson finds the last thing that Sybil looked at, which just so happens to be a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. bases. We then realise that Malick didn't go into space to hide, but he actually went to call in reinforcements. The Chronocoms arrive and Malick murders someone for calling him sir, and I tell you what mate, you bloody deserved it. Don't ever assume anyone's gender pronouns, especially in this new world, you scumbag. Now from space, they destroy all the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, and I love how the plan this entire time was to just shoot stuff with a laser from outer space. It's pretty much becoming like a James Bond villain plot at this point. The Triskelion is of course amongst these targets, and it looks like the mission for the Chronocoms this entire time might have actually been to create S.H.I.E.L.D., get them all in one place at the same time, and blow them all up. Take that, Kevin Feige. Yeah, make Winter Soldier make sense now. That's what you get for saying Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't matter. In the post-credits stinger, Malick watches over the destruction, and then sees Kora, who he kisses after thanking. She doesn't seem that into it, and yeah, sisters before misters I think is definitely going to be in full effect here. Now we will be talking about the preview for the finale, so if you don't want anything ruined, then this is your time to duck out of the video. If you're still here, thank you for sticking around, and in the preview for the 2-hour epic, we don't actually get that much given away, but Daisy does say, "This is the last mission together, isn't it?" It's crazy to think that this time next week, there won't be any predictions part of the video, and we will be ending the entire thing without any new episodes or seasons to talk about. From here, we cut to Sybil telling the agents that the war is over, and that they've lost. However, with Fitz being the key to defeating the Chronocoms, it is possible that he will be turning up to take them out. The agents board the ship, and Daisy and Malick go head to head, which as I've said I think will lead to Kora stepping in and saving her. Now in addition to this, an eagle-eyed viewer spotted that the empty chairs looked like everyone had been snapped away. Chloe Bennett actually responded to this and said it does look like that, which probably means that it isn't. She might not care about ruining a career though, now that everything's over. Anyway, I'd obviously love to hear your thoughts on the episode and what you think will be happening next time. Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please drop a thumbs up, and if you missed our analysis of the other episodes then make sure you check them out after this. Every month on the 15th we give away free Blu-rays, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning the MCU Infinity Saga box set is leave a like and subscribe with notifications on. If you want to support the channel and get to see content early, then please consider clicking the join button below. You can also come chat to us on our Discord server, linked in the description, or at Heavy Spoilers on Twitter. Thanks for making it until the end of the video. You've been the best, I've been Definition, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.